The transformation of Rome from a nascent city-state on the Tiber to the dominant power of the Mediterranean world, culminating in the establishment of the Roman Empire, is one of history's most compelling narratives. This journey, specifically the period known as the Roman Republic, roughly 509 BCE to 27 BCE, represents a foundational chapter in Western civilization, characterized by innovation in governance, relentless military expansion, and ultimately internal strife that led to its collapse. The birth of the Republic and early expansion. The Republic's inception followed the legendary overthrow of the last Etruscan king, Tarquin the Proud, marking a decisive shift from monarchy to a system ostensibly based on the rule of law and the participation of citizens. Initially, power was vested in the Senate, composed of aristocratic elders and various assemblies and magistrates, most notably the two annual consuls. This early republic was a period of intense struggle, both internal between the patricians, the aristocracy, and the plebeians, the common citizens, for political rights, and external against neighboring Italian tribes. Through a series of brilliant political compromises, such as the creation of the office of the tribune of the plebs, the Republic gradually evolved a more complex and representative governance structure. Simultaneously, its formidable legions, organized with a flexible manipular system, systematically conquered the Italian peninsula, setting the stage for global conflict. The Punic Wars and Mediterranean Hegemony. The acquisition of Italy brought Rome into direct and cataclysmic confrontation with Carthage, the other great naval and commercial power of the Western Mediterranean. The Punic Wars, 264–146 BCE, were a grueling test of Roman resilience. The First Punic War established Rome as a naval power. The second witnessed Hannibal's near-fatal invasion of Italy, only to be turned back by Roman perseverance. And the third concluded with the total destruction of Carthage. By the mid-2nd century BCE, Rome had effectively secured control over the entire Mediterranean basin, a transformation that brought immense wealth, vast numbers of slaves, and unprecedented provincial administration challenges, fundamentally altering Roman society and its political equilibrium. Internal crisis and the Gracchi. The influx of wealth and slaves dramatically widened the gap between the rich and the poor. Small farmers, the backbone of the legions, often lost their land while serving in campaigns, leading to the rise of massive, slave-worked estates known as latifundia. This social crisis sparked the revolutionary reforms of the Gracchi brothers, Tiberius and Gaius, in the late 2nd century BCE. They proposed radical land redistribution to aid the dispossessed, challenging the power of the senatorial elite and traditional political norms. Their brutal assassinations demonstrated that political disputes were increasingly being settled with violence rather than legislation, introducing an era of escalating civil unrest and political instability. Military dynasts and the final century. The social and economic stresses exacerbated by military expansion paved the way for ambitious generals to command personal loyalty from their professional armies, rather than loyalty to the state. Figures like Gaius Marius and Lucius Cornelius Sulla used their legions to seize political control, initiating devastating civil wars that repeatedly undermined republican institutions. The rise of the First Triumvirate, an unofficial political alliance between Pompey the Great, Marcus Licinius Crassus, and Julius Caesar, temporarily controlled the state. However, their ultimate rivalry led to Caesar's dramatic victory in a subsequent civil war, his crossing of the Rubicon, and his establishment as dictator perpetuo. His assassination in 44 BCE by senators desperate to restore the Republic was ironically the final, fatal blow to its viability. The transition to empire. The ensuing chaos led to the formation of the Second Triumvirate: Octavian, Caesar's heir, Mark Antony, and Marcus Aemilius Lepidus, which ultimately dissolved into a final power struggle between Octavian and Antony. Octavian's decisive victory at the Battle of Actium in 31 BCE left him as the undisputed master of the Roman world. He masterfully dismantled the remaining republican structures while maintaining a facade of their continuance. By 27 BCE, the Senate conferred upon him the title Augustus, effectively marking the end of the Roman Republic and the dawn of the Roman Empire. The Republic had successfully conquered the world, but in doing so, it had generated internal forces, mass professional armies, vast wealth disparity, and overpowerful individuals that ultimately proved incompatible with its own system of governance, culminating in its transformation into an autocratic state tailored to govern the immense territory it had acquired. The fall was not a sudden catastrophe, but a prolonged, dramatic evolution, a cautionary tale about the complexities of scaling governance and power.